All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, shout out to everybody that's out there, y'all. Shout out to y'all who been supporting. Now that we're back out there doing what we have to do as far as social media, y'all. Social media has always been doing once again works behind the scenes. A lot of it, been a lot going on, but shout out to y'all. The Most High released us back into the portal of social media, y'all. All right, so without further ado, we just gonna give all praises and honors and glory to Yahweh Shem Shad. First, before anything, shouts to the Zaquanium out there, the elders that sincere, pure in heart, the men of Israel that's going sincere, pure in heart, not gainsayers, not the people that's just following the wrong trend. I would say the wrong men and women, the men or sisters out there too. Shouts to the sisters getting their missions, doing what they have to do for the most part. Shout out to the kids out there that's not crashing out, not giving their parents a hard time. Shout outs without a doubt. Shouts to urban community, y'all. Shout outs to y'all people, man. Y'all people mean a lot. The Spurdy how by Shimmy Shad and people like myself. Alright, so hopefully everybody's going good. It's definitely been a heat advisory out there. So definitely make sure that you're getting your water in your system and things of that nature so you could be alright, Lord willing. These things is definitely a must need. Now another thing too that thirsty. Most High tells you to be thirsty off of this word in truth. All right, be thirsty off of that, because that's gonna definitely hold us down. Without further ado, y'all, we're gonna get into another various topic. And the first topic we're gonna start off with is gonna be Romans, right? The book of Romans, the third chapter. I mean, the ninth chapter, right? And the 13th verse. So we're gonna go Romans 9 and 13. All right. I'm gonna jump around a little bit through the spirit. Um, this is Paul speaking. Okay, the apostle Paul speaking. This is Romans 9 and 1. I say the truth, and Yahweh shot and lieth not. My conscience also bear witness in the Holy Spirit. All right. I was getting ready to use the Hebrew termination here, but for you guys that don't know, verse 2, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. You know, Paul is saying that. You know what I'm saying? When you on this mission once again, you're gonna have a lot of, heaviness in your heart. Sorrow in your heart. Sorrow from the things that you're going through. And not necessarily just the things that you're going through, the things that us as a nation of people are going through, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a heart. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes this world, if you allow it, this world will try to drag you down to the point that you don't care about anybody else but yourself. You don't care if you eating. I mean, no one else is eating as long as you eat. You don't care if nobody else got it as long as you got it. This world, by the so-called white man, the oppressive, living and ruling right now, which every kingdom is about 200 to 250 years. This kingdom is definitely at its standstill. It's on its last leg and limb. Um, you will have that mentality. That's why the St. John 3:16, love not this world, neither the things that's in this world. You know what I mean? Because you'll start to have the mind frame of, I gotta get mine. I gotta get mine. But you want to make sure that you do get yours, but also make sure you save some for someone else that's in need, that feels the same way, just like you guys do. You know what I'm saying? Treat your neighbor like you treat yourself. How you feel is the same way someone else just woke up this morning, this afternoon, tonight's feeling the same way. So it's a necessary need of that. So when you on this mission, as Paul stating, you know, he's bearing witness to the spirit of the Most High. You know what I mean? Um, Great heaviness, continuing sorrow in heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Look at the conditions our people in. You know what I mean? It's sad. It's crazy. But these things have to take place for us to get to that next level. All right, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were cursed from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. So Paul is telling you that he is, once again, family unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, what the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And the reason being, he's saying, according to the flesh, my brother, according to the flesh, because some people are your brothers. They might be your brothers and sisters. You can use a slang terminology of that. If it's co-workers, things of that nature. One of your friends or whatever, your friends could be a whole different separate race, but you might call them in the likeness of your brother or sister because they might take the place and the weight of a brother and sister or treat you like that. But Paul is saying that pretty much not only is he's a brother to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it's also according to the flesh. We're going to find that out. Verse 4, who are Israelites. You see that? Who are Israelites. So Paul is telling you that he's an Israelite. He's born an Israelite according to the flesh. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is an Israelite by birth as well. So they are traditional brothers by birth, plus spiritual brothers. Because you could be the same race and you could disown a man and woman, a brother and sister. And there'd be another brother and sister that stick closer to you, as the scriptures say. That is your people, but not biologically. You get what I'm saying? Verse 4, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. All right? Because Yahushua was sent back to pretty much, adopt us back into this covenant, this truth. Okay? Because our people was known for going off. And the glory. The glory is once again the kingdom coming and his word of truth. And the covenants, all right? Right? The agreements and the giving of the law, all right? Because who was given the law? The law was given to the children of Israel. It wasn't given to the Arabics. It wasn't given to the so-called white man and woman. It wasn't given to the Chinese. It wasn't given to the Africans, all right? And on top of that, it's not necessarily given to so-called every black and Latino man and woman. That has to be of the elect. You know what I'm saying? For you to follow it. You're a chosen race of people, but not all of our people is going to get it. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High has to man, craft, and pick this situation out precisely. All right? And the giving of the law. So who was given the law once again? The only people who was given the law to necessarily be able to follow the law is the children of Israel. All right? And the service of Yahweh and the promises. All right? What was the promises? The kingdom. All right? So that's it. Did he not promise Moses the kingdom? And eventually he will get that, but he didn't get it at the moment, but he will get that though. Moses is definitely going to be in the kingdom. He's definitely going to get that eventually. All right? Like he subscribes to Wasai channel. All right? So it says once again in the adoption, the glory, the covenant, and the giving of the law, because you can want to follow our doctrine. Billions of people want to follow the Bible. Billions of people think they know the Bible. Billions of people, all races, creeds, and character of nature sorts will reference the Bible some sort of way. All right? But was they given the laws? They were not given the laws, y'all. The laws was given to the children of Israel. It weren't given to everybody. All right? That's why they have their own false laws. And gods and deities, which we're prevented to be worshiping and serving because we have the true living power, which is Yahweh. All right? So you can try to follow our laws. You can try to be down as much as possible. Does not mean anything. All right? Verse 5, whose are the Father in whom as concerning in the flesh Christ came, right? Who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever. Amen. Right? Let me see if we could just jump down. All right, let me see real quick. because I want to get to a point real quick, right? I mean, he's going to break down everything. I'm just trying to skim through it. We'll just jump to verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham, right? Are they children? Are they all children? But in Isaac shall thou seed be called, right? Because the Most High had chosen Isaac, right? And Isaac means laughter, pretty much, okay? And of this, before that, was Abraham, which means the father, all right? So this one bloodline was going to be blessed, not all the bloodlines, all right? Verse 8, that is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yahweh. So the other races are the children of the flesh, but they're not the children of the Most High in truth. They're not the chosen, which is Israel. But the children of the promise are counted for the seed, okay? So the children of the promise is who? Jake, so-called Negroes and Latinos. You are the promised seed. Verse 9, all right? For this is the word of promise, that this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son, all right? And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, all right? Verse 11, the children not yet being born, here's our point, not having done any good or evil, right? That the purpose of Yahweh, according to the election, might stand, not of works, not of him that calleth. All right, so what you need to understand here is the Most High deals with a balance, and that's what's that Proverbs 16:4, if I'm not mistaken, right? Where the Most High tells you he makes the evil and he creates the good. I, the Lord, do all these things. All right, so before this is getting into the genealogy of the so-called black man and the white man, all right, which once again, black people been on the earth way before this. Once again, also, the so-called white man was on the earth way before this. All right, this is just a genealogy of another time, because the first white man was the murderer, was pretty much Cain, or he was the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Okay, there you go. And the first man necessarily would be Adam. Okay, and Adam was pretty much Yahweh Shad. He was what you call Jesus Christ. Okay, he was the first, but he had to get it right and come back to reincarnation. He has been reincarnated several times, which he came back once again as Yahweh Shad, and he got it better, a lot better. We're enough better that the Father said, this is my son that he's well pleased with. All right, the same thing with us. You guys have been on this earth several times. All right, and the time that you're living right now is the time to make it right, because this is the last go around. So if you continuously crashing out, or you're someone listening to this channel and platform, it's just like, yo, look, I don't care which way life brings it to me. I'm just gonna live my life and do my thing. Well, you probably had the same mentality before the Most High to put you to death the first time, and then bring you back again and get it right. You probably crashed out again. Then he had to bring you back again. You crashed out again. But this will be your last time. This will be the second death for you. Not necessarily the second death, but in Revelations, what it calls the second death, which is these thermonuclear missiles, man. All right. So it says, for the children not yet being born. All right. So the white man and the so-called black guy, he wasn't even born yet, man. They were in their mother's womb, man. Right. But the Most High had a plan for them. Is it in the Most High saying in Jeremiah 1:5, I formed you in the belly. I knew you. Right. So the Most High had already, before you was even formed in the womb, the Most High had already known what he was going to ordain each individual and man and woman out here on the earth to be. That's it. From any different race, he already knew. All right. For the children not yet being born, neither having done any good or evil. That's a very good point, because it wasn't about the white man doing anything evil, or he was going to come out to be the disgusting, crappy crash out, okay, on the earth, the devil. All right. It wasn't about the so-called black man was going to be to be, you know, he's always described as the lowest one, but always the brightest one, you know. And at the end, he will maintain the champion. All right, that's just how it was written. All right, so they didn't do anything wrong yet, y'all. All right, they even have done any good or either, but that the purpose of the Most High, according to the election, might stand. So it was just all about the Most High's purpose. You didn't have to necessarily do shit, nothing at all. They didn't do shit wrong. You know, if they was not even yet necessarily born in a mother's womb yet, then how the fuck could you even have a thought about doing anything wrong? You don't have an existence at all necessarily. You're a fucking embryo. You're before embryo. You know what I'm saying? So this purpose was not about them or us, y'all. This purpose was related and based upon the true living power only. It was his decision. Verse 12. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. It was said unto the mother that was getting ready to conceive these two fraternal twins, right? And it was also said unto her, which is the children of Israel, referred to as a her. All right, the elder shall serve the younger, because the elder, you're gonna find out, is the so-called white race. Okay, that's why they don't necessarily age so well. All right, as far as the so-called black guy, he kind of ages better in due time. All right, so the elder shall serve the younger, and that's talking about when the Most High comes back and take America out of power. All right, as he's soon to come. We're seeing the collapse of America. All right, it's the collapse of a kingdom, and it's going to be time for a new kingdom to arise, and that kingdom is going to be in Yahweh Shad Amashiach, with the general commanders on down, all the high, powerful ranking men on down. All right, and they're going to serve you through where? With slavery, man, because the scriptures tell you, he that leadeth into captivity shall be led into captivity. That was a prophecy. Verse 13 is a good point. As it's written, right? Because this was written aforetime. Once again, before they were even born, this was already written out to happen, y'all. Jacob have I loved. Who is Jacob? The so-called blacks and so-called Latinos, right? But Esau slash Edom, all right? Or another word for them is the Edomites, right? Or the Caucasian, the cave dweller, have I hated, all right? Because that's in the scriptures, man. All right? Now we're going to have to precept it, you know. I mean, well, I already told you through the Spirit, you know. I think that's Proverbs 16 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. You just research that. It tells you the Most High loves, the Most High hates. But once again, Christianity will only teach you that love, 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 love. And not understanding subconsciously that they wake up and make decisions based upon hate every day too, because you just can't have that. I mean, I'm sure there's something in their life that you actually hate it. And hate just means a strong dislike. That's what it means. All right, that's all it means. So if you ever get spooked out about hating something, it's just all you're saying in your mind is you have a strong dislike of something. That's it. All right, that's pretty much it. All right, verse 14. What shall we say then? Question. Because after people say, read verse 13, and they just marvel upon it, and you kind of flabbergasted of it, as it was written, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. I mean, if you don't know the scriptures enough and not be privy to the truth of it, you'll just go off of what you've been taught every day. You know, what shall we say then? It'll come a spark in your mind, like, what the fuck? Why is God even talking like this and coming like this? Like, how does he hate somebody? Like, that's impossible. He's supposed to be fucking God. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He is God. You understand? The same emotions that we have is the same emotions that he has. But how did we get it? We got through him first, because he's the Almighty. All right? So there you go. This comment says, even animals hate. Animals have a strong dislike, all right, for other animals in the kingdom. And it's common sense. Why do you think, like, animals is like the fucking, like, he also tells you to look at the animals. Because the animals be going, like, so fucking hard out there. Like a mother, anything out there goes fucking berserk for her cubs. Like seriously. All right, crazy. Like a father out there, like goes crazy as an animal. Like all that type of stuff. Most I tells you to observe the ants and see how they like, in due times, like they will gather their food and things of that nature and store it at certain times before the winter comes. I mean, come on, that's smart as fuck. But you would look at an ant that fucking tiny. I mean, if you look at an ant compared to you, I mean, no one even knows, like, I'm not like a scientist here, respectfully speaking. You know what I mean? But spiritually, if you look at it, how small it is in its totality versus a human, even just as far as how small it is on your hand. If you put it in your hand, how small it is compared to you. Like your fingernail is bigger than a fucking ant, damn it. Easily. And this ant still was created by the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shah, the almighty true power, with all this type of intelligence spiritually, the wisdom that Yahweh Shemi Shah has, to create that creature, that insect, which we look at as an insect. That shit is like low grade of a fucking human. You get what I'm saying? But still enough intelligent, wise enough, and sharp enough to know to store fucking food for the winter's coming. It's wild, crazy. Glory to Yahweh Shemi Shah Mashiach, man. I mean, you just can't, like the scriptures say, like you can't not, exalt the Most High enough for having that type of understanding is crazy. This is Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 3, verse 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto you than men understand. So, I mean, who could understand that? Like, where the fuck is the brain in a fucking ant? Like, what type of microscope gets that small? You know what I'm saying? Like, minuscule to, like, really be under a magnifying glass and, like, really see, like, the brain of a fucking ant that small. And even he can get it right. That's crazy. I mean, what else you say about that? It's just nothing but your help by Shabbat Shot, man. That's fucking insane, people. Like and subscribe, y'all. It's the Wild Side Channel. That's insane. Insane. And that's the reason why we want to serve the Most High, because, I mean, this guy is wow. I mean, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. All right, so getting back, I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, but because we're already like 23 minutes down there. And we always say that, but the Spirit of the Most High just does what he does. All right, it says, where we left off at is, as it was written, Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. So these two characters have not done any wrong or right yet, y'all. They wasn't even born. They were handpicked by God. It wasn't their will. It was the Creator's will to pick who he loved and pick who he despised and rejected. You understand the point? It's like, once again, if you have money and you're going to purchase a vehicle, the vehicle ain't do shit wrong. You had options out of 5, 7, 10 vehicles. You narrowed it down to 2. You are the person that's spending your money. You understand what I'm saying? So that would make you, like, once again, you considered as the owner. You do it as you please. No one should tell you what car. They can give you advice, but the cars is not going to talk. I mean, they're going to rip the engine if you try to play with it a little bit here and there. But it goes amongst you have to make your choice and your decision. And that's the Heavenly Father. It's simple to understand. It might be hard for us to understand at times. All right, certain things are how the Most High move, but when you humble yourself and you just ask yourself basic questions like this, can I go inside a pizza parlor and ask for what the fuck I want? Do I not have the right to do so? You do. All right? You do. If you choose beef sausages over plain cheese, who's to say you're right or wrong? You have the option to do it. You're paying your money. See, when we start, thinking on it on the logic point, when it's something, once again, facing ourselves or how we want to be treated and what we want to do, we don't seem to have a problem with it, y'all. We don't. But once again, if it's the Most High doing it, then it's a major issue. Now we to the point like, we don't understand, we don't have no understanding, and we just a little tight about it. But continue to be tight about it. It's his program. You know what I mean? Verse 14 is going to show you. What shall we say then? Question. Is there unrighteousness with God? Question. God forbid, which means no, because that's what most people going to say when they hear it. Damn, is God foul as fuck? Damn, like that's some foul shit. Like you hating people now and shit? What the fuck is going on, man? Doesn't sound like the real God that I know or comfortable with. That's what's going to come to your mind. Because you don't know the scriptures in truth, man. The Most High has not opened your eyes up and assured you this, man. So you don't know, and then after you get to it, hopefully, that you would humble yourself to it, because it makes total sense, makes total sense, right? You got a choice to do what you choose to do, so why can't the Father of all fathers be able to make his choice and decision as well, right? Verse 15, for he said unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So there you go. He told Moses the same thing. I will have mercy on who I will have mercy on, and compassion on who I choose to have compassion on. Verse 16. So then, this is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy. It's not about what you do and what you want, or what you think you can do. It's about Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shad, who shows the mercy. And who did he choose to serve mercy to? He showed mercy to the children of Israel, and not Pharaoh and his people. All right, when you read the scriptures. Verse 17, for the scriptures say unto Pharaoh, right, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, all right, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So look at that, man. Most High raised up Pharaoh just to be the silly, proud-hearted heathen that he was, man. And his name was declared known because a lot of people feared Pharaoh for his power and his might and his strength of his army and his riches and his rulership that he had. I mean, who does not fear kings to a certain degree? All right? So the Most High gave him the spirit to raise him up to do the things he's doing, just like Trump and everybody else. The Most High is doing that from the left-hand side. It might be some things that's hard to understand, but the Lord is doing it to fulfill his will. That's the whole thing, man. He's doing that to fulfill his will, because there's no such thing as free will. All right? The Most High tell you that, man. Once again, I wish that Proverbs 21:1. The course of the river, the Most High turneth it so whatsoever he willeth. Therefore, verse 18, have ye mercy on whom he have mercy, and whom he will harden. All right, so he can humble your heart, or the Most High can harden your heart. All right, he can harden your heart that you give a fuck about your reproofs. You give a fuck about, any good trait. How many people's hearts they've got hardened? Like your wife's heart can get hardened. Your girlfriend's heart can get hardened. I hate this nigga now. And she's done. She's gone. Or you can get your heart hardened towards her. You can't stand it for whatever reason. This is how the hearts become hardened. You're supposed to be loving this person. And now your heart is hardened. Who does that? The Spirit of the Most High. You can put that spirit on you, man. You can get your heart hardened for not wanting to humble yourself to these corrections and reproof. This could happen, man. That's why, it's a necessary need that you constantly examine yourself, all right, and stay humble. That's the biggest thing. Because if not, then, go be going the fuck off, man. Ecclesiasticus 3:26. A stubborn heart shall feel evil at his last, but he that loveth danger shall perish therein. There you go. Verse 28. The punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness have taken root in him. So there you go. You know, that could start your voyage of just wilding the fuck out, just crashing out. When you really want to be humble. All right? You really want to be humble. All right? That's exactly what you want to do, especially when it comes to this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 17. My son, go on with thy business in meekness. All right? So shalt thou be loved of him that is approved. Right? Verse 18. The greater thy art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So the greater that you are in power positions, you want to humble yourself even more. I mean, you can still keep that compassion and everything. That's how the Most High uses you. But know when to be humble. All right? Opposed to the left-hand side in power, a lot of men and women that get some type of power. Some people get power at the job, and you know, they know the job and what they do. They start going against the goddamn, the higher ups, the HR. They don't want to hear anything. Because they know, their skills is pretty good, and they, talking shit. You'll hear them. I'm better than everybody on the job, and you're going to hear it, man. And you might be. You might necessarily be. You might be. Can't take that away from you. The Most High bless your hands. You might be. But you still got to be humble, because the Most High can harden your heart, or he gives mercy. Amongst mercy he will. The Most High literally just gave me mercy a couple of days. Just a couple of days ago, man. Like in a whole situation, man. I'm going to court back and forth, man. And the Most High, not necessarily something I did like on a physical scale of it, but still, the Most High can bring you to judgment for anything. Maybe any motherfucking thing. I was going to court for some, had nothing to do with me. Pretty much fighting for someone else, respectfully speaking, And, at the end of the day, it was just a mission and a touch from the Most High, Put my faith and trust in the Most High, though it was very, very, very strenuous on me. Absolutely, without a doubt. I was facing 2 years just 2 days ago, respectfully speaking. And the Most High, he done came through. Came through like the Superman that he is, the real Superman that he is, man. And he showed mercy amongst who he would show mercy on. And he will harden anyone's heart that he wants to. And I'm thankful enough that I obtained mercy, and that's why I prayed on that. I wanted to give you guys some examples. And some brothers is like a little bit, they feel like, they don't want to be putting all their business out there in a vulnerable way, but I have always been vulnerable in that way. As far as my life story is publicly known spiritually to enough. If you know, you know. So I don't really care, because I know at the end of the day I'm comfortable in my own skin, respectfully speaking, through the Spirit. And I know at the end of the day that this can help someone else. It's not for everybody. So we do understand that. Take it how you take it. It ain't about nothing. I'm not the first that was facing jail sentences and things of that nature. Many men of Israel recorded, some of the forefathers have faced trials like this several times, y'all. And the Most High has came and opened them keys up. Did not the Most High tell you that in Revelations? The Most High holds the keys to hell, right? It could take you out of it. And yes, the Most High has came through. So I'm definitely living proof, that the Most High can do these things, man. Absolutely, without a doubt. Especially if you in the right in that way. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully speaking. Like if you're doing what you're supposed to do, he'll look out for you, y'all. No matter how worse it looks, he will look out for you. He will. Your mind's gonna tell you it's not gonna work. This is crazy. What? Man. You might get that demon that tried to tempt you and die. I know we going off with this topic, but we still gonna tie back to the scriptures. All right? It might tell you that, but at the end of the day, man, the Most High, I'm telling you, he's gonna have you. He's gonna have you. To who this message may concern again, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I seen these things, man. I seen it. I've been through these things. Constantly going through these things. This man is testing men and women's might. And getting brothers and sisters through it. Some way, shape, some form. All right? So 18 again in Romans. Therefore have he Therefore, he have mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom will he harden. And he did that to Pharaoh. So if he hardened your heart in his truth, did not want to take your reproof in, you running around talking slick about brothers, um, you know, just being a little asshole, you know what I'm saying, and telling, talking to brothers, telling they shit talking with the word, and whatever you're saying, you need to refrain from that, because you got to still understand that them men work for the Most High, you know, and that's what it say. Sirach 33 and verse 17. It's the spirit. Consider not that I labor, not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning. So we work on this job, y'all, and the stuff that we go through, you know, to the brothers out there that might feel as though they vulnerable for putting these testimonies out there. No, in a certain way, it's how you doing it, because what you going through and you learning from it, this also helps others that seek learning as well. That's how they learn, as the example of the good way or the bad way. And if you're going through something, you can help somebody out, then that's a good thing. Verse 18, hear me, O ye great men of the people, and hearken with your ears, ye rulers of the congregation. You know, Most High tell you that, man. You know, he tell you that. Come praise y'all by Shimon Shai, man. Shalai. Verse 33. There shall no evil happen unto him. 33 and 1. Sirach. Unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation, even again will he deliver him. Damn. A wise man hateth not the law, but he that is a hypocrite, therefore, is as a ship in a storm. Well, we know a ship in a storm. What type of ship want to be in the storm? Yahweh Shah was the ship. He was on the ship in the storm. We talked about that. While the disciples was questioning, getting weariness of heart, which is common sense, losing faith, Yahweh Shah stood as that rock. You know, he wasn't moved. He was unmovable. In fact, he put his feet up and took a fucking nap on top of a storm, dark as shit, cold as hell, raining cats and dogs, people going crazy on the boat, and this guy's taking a fucking nap with his feet up. Glory to Yahweh Shah Mashiach, man. He put his feet up on that. Right? Because he had faith, man. This guy knew. Alright? So it says, once again, a wise man hateth not the law. So you shouldn't be hating the corrections, right? Be hated as a hypocrite, therefore is as a ship in the storm. Yeah, it's gonna be rocky times for you, man. You're gonna be tossed to and fro, you know? The water is gonna beat upon that wooden ass ship, man. That soft ass chest that you got spiritually. Alright? Until it cave in, until you do what? And if you think you're a big ship, like the Titanic, well, guess what? Rest in peace. Shout out to them people, man. You know? That was a serious situation the Most High did. Over 2,000 people. The great unsinkable ship. Remember that. You know? And spiritually, that could have been, Leviathan. Because the scriptures tell you in Job, he plays with ships. You know what I mean? The great sea monster. Just one of them too, y'all. Just one of them. Either way, we know it was the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We know. And we can get into in a situation of the so-called white men, the oppressors, the people who built the ship, alleged, all right? Did one of those scandals as far as the, insurance policy. Let's sink the ship to get back our money. And we know they play like that. Devils don't give a shit. They'll sacrifice your ass quick. 1,000 people for a blood sacrifice. That shit is nothing. All right? But all praises and glory go to who, y'all? Because it goes back for whatever side, the Most High. He controls both sides. So it doesn't matter. All right? Verse 19. Thou wilt say unto me, why do he yet find fault? Question, for who has resisted his will? And there you go. You can't resist the Most High's will. That's why at the end of the day, if a bitch want to really get pregnant, She's trying everything. You nutting up all you dumb niggas out there. No rubbers, nutting all in them. Splash Mountain, this Splash Water Kingdom out this motherfucker. She don't care. She's fucking loving it. Some of these women, they don't even give a shit, bro. I'm telling you, man. The women are like big kids with tits, man. They don't be thinking sometimes. Some of them do. Most of them don't. All right? She'll let you go for the glory, man. She let, hey, you want to go have some fun in the splash bottle, all that. Hey, look, that's your thing. But